This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
JT wants to know, what was it like working with Triple H as an executive? Did people like working with him? Did you ever see any friction between him and Shane? This is an interesting question, Arn, because we've all, as fans, seen what happened with the Triple H character, and we know all of his great matches and stories and championships and all the accolades. But then we hear the business side of him when he does these conference calls promoting NXT and things like that. And I think people are a little curious about what he's like behind the camera. How would you describe him as an executive?
Well, I mean, he's following the lead of his father-in-law. He is putting forward the policies that Vince has laid out. I think he speaks well. I think he has a good grasp on the business, but I've always dealt with him. That's the thing. That's the one blessing that I've had. No one has asked me or have I volunteered to be in those meetings where they involve just the business end of what we do.
Right.
Mine was always matches, setting up angles, because he and I think a lot alike. I came from the era I came from, and I think he's a bit of a throwback as far as his work back to an 80s style worker. Would you agree to that?
Yeah.
I mean, he's a guy that could have fit in the 80s as far as the way he works. He's not a big high spot guy and all that stuff. So I dealt with him more on the mechanics of matches and things like that. And sometimes he would ask my opinion on stuff. I think he's always been in his mind, and maybe it was the plan of the company for him to one day take over the leadership of the company. Who knows? You've got Shane and Steph, who would probably fall in line if you really broke it down ahead of him, I would think, since they are Vince's kids, but who knows? They may, Steph has her job as far as the branding, and Shane does his thing. I don't know how it's lined up, and you'll never know until the issue arises, who exactly will run the company. Who knows?
Billy Wilson wants to know, what was a bigger moment for you, beating Ric Flair or beating Hulk Hogan?
Oh, Hogan for sure. In Tampa.
It's a big deal.
Huge. And hey, I'm not a where wins and losses and that go. I'm not some guy that keeps up with all that stuff. And, because my loss record is about 10 times bigger than my win record. But that one and the one that followed, even with all the shenanigans that went on, is one that you can go back 15 years later and bring it up in a promo and people will remember it, believe it or not. And it was big to me because I saw the evolution of Hulk Hogan. I lived it. I lived through it. I saw it. And I saw what he meant in it. And I also saw that he didn't get beat very much.
Right.
You could run over him with a dump truck and then back over him. And I'm not sure he was going to stay down from that. And that was a big one for me. It really was. And the Rick one with where we were going with the angle was a big deal too. I think it was a little bit of a shocker to people. I just wasn't, it was bad guy against bad guy with Rick and I, or good guy and good against good guy, however you want to look at it. It was good versus evil with me and Hogan. So it had that panache. Those people were pissed. That was his hometown.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.